Hello again. Welcome to my channel, Irini Hara, streaming from Oslo. And today I thought it would be a good idea to do a reading because it's been quite a while. I haven't recorded a reading. And I usually do it for special occasions. And we had a beautiful full moon yesterday. I think it's called Hunter's Moon, if I'm not wrong. And we always say that full moons are moments of reflection and of shedding light on our shadows or darkness, but also releasing something that is outdated or that we don't need to carry anymore. And we are also in October. It's the month of Libra sign, a sign of air, a sign focusing on the intellectual part of life, thinking, overthinking, working with the mind, meditating, creating connections, and working so that our relationships can be more harmonious and more solid. And for today, I'm going to use 4 decks. So one is one of my favorites, Tarot, the Wonderland Tarot, speaking about the Alice in Wonderland, and reinterpretation of Tarot de Marseille. And then I have the Gypsy Oracle cards, Oracolo della Cittana, the Spirit Postcards. That is also very interesting. I don't know if you can see it. I don't think it wants because I have the background. Anyway, it's a very nice one. And Lo Scrigno, this is an Oracle card, Lo Scrigno degli Oracoli. That is something I purchased in Italy 1 year ago. It was very nice. And so you can, if you prefer, while you're reading, or you're listening to the reading, lit a candle, so you can transform the reading and the messages you receive in a small ritual for this full moon. We are still under its influence, so you might feel a little bit moody actually, and or maybe a little bit down energetically. And let's see what are the messages. And we start with the cards of the Wonderland Tarot. So first I got the Queen of Flamingos, that in the traditional tarot would be the Queen of Wands. That can be your energy, either you're female or male. It can always be a more feminine energy, but an energy of authority, you or someone important for you, someone close to you. And we were speaking about the moon, and then we get the moon as a card. And it's interesting because the depiction here, it's a man sitting in front of many oysters, and he looks like a cook, like wants to cook the oysters. And an animal that looks like a sea elephant, but not sure, and the moon looking down behind the sun to this scene, which is quite interesting because metaphorically speaking, this is like something that is preparing for you, something that might actually be the preparation of a meal if you want, but in a more metaphoric sense, you are expecting something and there is some uncertainty regarding this situation. And it might be this Queen of Flamingos that is expecting, or maybe the Queen of Flamingos is the person that can help you bring some clarity on this situation. And then we got the Four of Oysters, which would be the Four of Cups, which is a wallet, a court wallet. We speak about Alice in Wonderland story, so it's an interpretation of it, where the wallet carries 2 big oysters on a plate, right? with a lot of pride, and other oysters are looking from down to it. And it's like there might be a wish fulfillment after this period of cloudiness or uncertainty, but it's not available yet, and it might not be actually all at once. It might come in parts. And then the lovers. So the lovers here, you have the two twins. I don't know if you can see the lovers. The twins that actually remind me of that egg from the Alice in Wonderland that tries to not fall down from the wall, but then it falls and breaks. And the big bird, like a big eagle behind them. And the lovers, as I know in the traditional tarot, is speaking, it can speak about romance, of course, if it's the case. So there might be wish fulfillment relating with romance or love life, but it also can speak about decisions, some decision between two situations, two stories. And it's like, it's very backed by sun. So after the moon, after the lack of clarity and shadows and cloudiness, confusion, there will be a kind of decision, but it implies something that you have to choose. It implies a choice. We'll clarify later with other cards. And then the Ace of Hats, which is the Ace of Cups, which speaks about this new beginning of an offer of love, of an offer that has an emotional nature, something that is brought to you either by the universe or by a real person, because there is a hand coming from the clouds. So after the cloudiness, expect some good time ahead, because it's like almost coming out of the clouds and it's handing you an opportunity. And then you have the Two of Cups. So we still stay in the realm of emotions or romance, and Two of Cups usually is a union of love. But here is the queen, is the upset queen, and with her king and the cat, the invisible cat, the magician that surveys the situation. So yeah, there might be an offer of love, or offer of companionship or friendship, something that has to do with emotional realm, something that you might be longing for, or something that you don't expect, because it comes also from an area where it's partly shadow, you don't have the full view of it. Because ultimately there is a transformation happening that can come from this offer, the offer of love, or it comes because you accept this offer, this union, and you know that something needs to be changed. And ultimately you get to the High Priestess, and in this case is Alice, sitting on a chair in between dark and light. And she has her own magic wand while she's doing her work. So the High Priestess is always a figure of authority, but can also represent someone who is highly spiritual or has some understanding and lives life on a more spiritual level, and has the ability to see behind the scenes, to see beyond what eyes can see. And there might be that you receive a phone call, because this is a call I'm receiving and I'm not going to answer, that allows you to operate on a different level also for yourself, to get awareness about something in your life. But it might also mean that you need to meditate and invest something in this situation or opportunity in order for you to get on this level of awareness that is a higher level in your life. Because then you get into Five of Cups situation where you don't seem to be pleased with what you have in your hands. There are 3 cups in front of you and you don't see them, and 2 behind. And it can be that this beginning, this offer that's presented to you is not something that you wish or expect, or that you think that there might be better options. But nevertheless, there is something here. There is either a person or a situation that is beginning. It has the energy of the page, so it's something quite young or fresh. It doesn't have age. It didn't develop yet. That has a potential, because amid all these clouds that are portrayed here, the page holds a flamingo, which is a wand. So has, at least at the level of the mind, the idea that we should take action, or we should get to the next and see some progress on this path or in this specific situation. You will know better according to your situation. And then again, we continue with the flamingo energy, which is an energy of fire, of action, of entrepreneurship, where we have beautifully depicted 6 flamingos, because it's 6 of flamingos, with Alice that is rowing the boat ahead, and the old ship, like an old lady. And this speaks that there is movement. There is a trip maybe that you need to take. There is action from your side that is required in case you want to be Alice, or at least the one that tells the story and is also part of the story. I'm just giving you an interpretation of the story. So there is movement, there is progress, but you are still carrying your wands with you. So your tools, what you need to put everything in action, even your motivation is with you. And you might have a companion on this trip. And it can be an imaginary or a real trip you need to take. Because then it's about putting some work. Here it's 8 of oysters, or that is 8 of coins. Speaks of material gain, but speaks about how you get to your orc all these oysters to get into your pan and fry them or eat them. That is metaphorically too. Because this character, the card, the wallet card, says, okay, I have a lot of things now to do, and I'm doing a lot of things, but are they going all to serve one purpose? It feels like it's a question mark on it. You are not yet sure, or maybe you need more proofs, or maybe you need to check if this trip or this endeavor that you want to take is the right one. So maybe you need to pause or do something else. And here is justice. And actually I was speaking about pause, and the character that is a clown almost, or the hatter, is upside down. So you need to reflect, to pause, so this can bring justice to your own thoughts and wishes, to your own life. And there is 3 of meals, which is, yeah, flamingos might be swords, sorry, but still it's related with action in this case. The 3 of, here is portraying, this card is portraying Alice looking beyond the curtain in the horizon, and she has this 3 tool that can make certain paper, right? And it's like she wants to discover something. You want to discover something. You want to go beyond the curtain, beyond the veil, and see what is on the other side, or maybe behind the scenes, because you're curious to know more. And then you go to the 2 of meals, which is again a wallet of the court of the queen, with 2 of these tools. And it feels a little bit, okay, I can take from one maybe salt, and from the other the paper. And I put them in my food. But which one will give me more of the best ingredient? It's all again, it's coming this idea of having a choice, having to decide, do I want to take from both? Do I take only from one or from the other? What is the right direction to go? But then ultimately have three of oysters. And here, interestingly enough, Alice holds a pig that is like a baby in her arms. And on the tree branch, there are three oysters looking down to her. So the question that comes here is, what are you holding in your arms? Is really your baby? It's something of your concern, or it's something that you want to hold because you don't want to look to your abundance that lies above. There are always many opportunities in this reading, and it feels like there is an overall tendency of overthinking or being indecisive. There are the cups. They stay in front of you. You don't see them. There are the three oysters up on the branch on the tree. You don't see them. There are options and you don't know which one is the best. There is abundance. There are coins. And you still ask yourself what I'm going to do with this. Because these doubts are the devil. It's your own consciousness, your own fears, your own maybe even traumas that keeps you blocking the mindset of lack, of not knowing what to do, of indecision. And the devil here, it's really a big alien face. And small Alice has a big sword trying to fight the devil. So whom are you fighting you? Are you fighting outer circumstances, people around, opinions, or are you fighting something inside of you? Something that you might not even be aware, but is like permanent battle with that inner enemy. Because the wheel of fortune, and here we have the owl, the eagle, the rat, the mouse, and a bird that I'm not sure what bird. Anyway, it's a wheel of fortune with animals, with birds. Says life goes up and down. So do not be worried because fortune can always come, but we'll need that you focus on what you really want and decide, because ultimately you are the magician of your own life. And here the magician, I want to show the card, but I'm not sure how. Yeah. The magician here, I'm describing it, is a man with a cat head above and a hat in front of him, a lily flower too. And he has in his right hand a rabbit that he is creating magic with it by placing it in the hat, the magic hat. So the magician here says that do not worry. You have everything and every skill you need to go through this and to make the best of the fortune, to overcome your own fears or the doubts or whatever is preventing you to actually take the step that is needed or to make the decision that you need. Because there is a big, nice beginning, Ace of Oyster. And again, the hand coming from the cloud, that is either the God or providence or universe or a real person. And you have the lily flower again, which is a symbol of royalty and noblesse. But noblesse oblige, as the French people say. There is a beginning. All over, there will be a beginning. And it's a beginning with abundance because it brings coins. So let's see what other messages we can get based on this first display. So we go to Oracolo de la Gitana to take some cards and clarify some of the cards we have here. So I have Ace of Cups, Ace of Coins. Two beautiful beginnings, both for love or romance or friendship and for money too. You don't have to be burdened with all this indecision. Reflect, change the perspective, and see if a new situation comes to you, a new idea. Yeah, it's always good to keep in mind that there are people around you that have two faces, and some of them they can be foe or enemies. So always try to be your own advisor and listen to others, but listen more to yourself and your inner gut feeling. Because there is a way where you can make peace or actually bring in reunion those parts of you that have been a little bit scattered. And as usually happens under full moons, we have a tendency to go a lot inward, but sometimes we forget and we lose ourselves in our daily routines and all these pulls from distractions and circumstances and people around us. Bringing things together or bringing people together, this can make you justice too. Or maybe you want to meet with someone that you haven't seen in a while, and you will make it. Of course, introspection and study is always needed, especially when you need to make some important decision for yourself, or actually create a strategy on how you can bring more abundance to your life. But be careful, because disasters or accidents or misfortune can always happen. And sometimes the misfortune can just be a tower, a construction that has been built on faulty foundation and needs to be rebuilt. So you will have the opportunity of a new start. It can also be a sudden awareness or a sudden information that arrives to you out of nowhere, and you need to change the perspective. You need to change the way you see or do things, because ultimately there is hope. There is hope, and you have to keep the hope high, even if hope sometimes can be blind. And of course, you will always think and overthink about these important things of your life, because they actually can also require you to be at service. Or maybe they'll bring you someone to serve you for your endeavors, to support you in what you want to do. And don't despair, even if you feel that there are too many doubts, too many circumstances that prevent you in doing or achieving what you want. And even if you sometimes cry for the losses that you have, this is the widower. It's always about the loss. It can be a real loss of a person that will be buried, but in many cases there are sadnesses that come also from the past, and we continue to keep them inside. Because we don't know how to release. That's why full moon rituals are always to help you release. If that subconscious memory or experience becomes conscious, do something about it. Don't keep it. Don't reactivate it, especially if it's a traumatic memory. Because you can make space, you can create space like a room inside you and in your life where you don't need all these burdens. And enjoy life, because sometimes just watching a butterfly flying and its colors, appreciating something that nature offers you so abundantly in all seasons. Now, for example, from my window in the living room where I'm now, I cannot see the view of a wood like that one behind, but I know these woods. That's why I wanted to put that as a background, because it gives me energy, always the energy of the woods and trees. It's very good for me. But from my window, I see a lot of colors. Autumn is beautifully colored all the time, and more colors are coming from the trees and the forest. And there will be money. Do not worry. There will be money, and there will be maybe through messages, because I just received another message. There is a new beginning with the Ace of Coins. expect money, more money to come. And you need to be steady and constant in your endeavors because you are on the right path. Be confident in yourself and joyful and celebrate all achievements that life can bring to you. And sometimes it might be that you need support from either mother or grandmother, from that wise old woman, or you can meet one and become a friend with this old age woman that can create opportunities, can bring you other connections, or can just give you a precious advice. And maybe you also meet your sweetheart on the way, because as a magician, you can attract everything you want in your life. If you lack a lover, place the intention and work towards achieving it. There will be conversations. There will be magical words and magical smiles with other people. And there might be even love, a possibility to build some love. And let's see now lo Scrigno degli Oracoli, just a few more cards, and then we will end with a card, a postcard from Spirit. Scrigno degli Oracoli also has some animals. I think they are mostly cats. But let's see. I'll try to clarify those cards that were a little bit more concerning and see what the clarifications bring. La prova. Sì, è una lotta, è una prova. A challenge. La prova means challenge from Italian. You have to battle again with a dragon or a monster. And that can actually be your inner monsters or shadows. Because these battles, the inner battles, the demons that you carry inside, they hold the key for developing la saggezza, which means wisdom. And this is representing as a goddess, Minerva goddess. La saggezza. You are developing wisdom and strength. That is the force, which is Giunone in Italian. And interesting to see that this goddess here is in a temple on a cliff, but she has a peacock. So the strength is also beauty. Find the beauty in yourself and find your inner strength, as it also brings abundance, abbondanza. And here we have Cercere, a goddess that holds the cornucopia, the old representation from mythology, filled with fruits and vegetables. And we have autumn as a season of harvest. So what are you harvesting in this season? What this season brings to you? Abundance, wisdom, strength, beautiful, and desire. Yes, but desire sometimes has the horns. And this is kind of butterfly holding the spark of fire, of passion, but also flowers. So it's a kind of two ways of representing desire. Your desires, others' desires, what you do with them. And lavoro, which means work, with many different flowers. This lady goes to the crops and harvests them. So if you want abundance, actually, you need to work, and you need to work hard sometimes. And keep steady in your endeavors. And don't forget that in front of you, life is always coming with an adventure. Here we have a cat getting out of the house, and there are many flies, those ones that have, I don't remember the name now in English. I remember the Portuguese name, pirilampus. Those who make light in the evening, maybe you know the name. Aventura. So you are invited in an adventure of your life. Even if you don't know where to go, it's always an adventure. And this adventure will bring healing. Here we have guarigione, and is represented as an angel of healing with this kind of hat above. This adventure will bring you healing. And through the work and through the effort that you put in everything that you do or you want to do. Because ultimately you are protected. This is protezione, which is goddess Diana, with her arch and aiming high in the sky. You are highly, divinely protected. Do not worry. So that has been the reading today. Very highly intuitive. Mostly based not only on the messages of the cards, but on the image. And I hope you like it. And now let's see what this postcard from the spirits wants to say to us today. And we have a beautiful angel on it. Yeah, I cannot show you. I will just read it. Dear you, now is one of those times you are being asked to add some distance. Take a step back and do nothing but observe. Don't worry about how long it will take to regroup. Just know it's temporary and actually an opportunity to take a breath, slow down, and look at how far you've come. Decisions for the highest good are made when you have clarity, which comes from being open to information, from both the intellect and the intuition. When you step into the role of observer, it's as if you turn on a switch that allows your soul to be an essential part of the information gathering and decision-making process. In this way, you can approach things from a more neutral and non-judgmental place. We know you will make the right choice. Trust us when we say now is not the time to get too close to the fray. Step back now, and you will be glad you did. With love. Yes, as I said, a moment of reflection and pondering, because a new adventure awaits and is protected and will be victorious and bring much more abundance. But you need to just take a break now. Take a break and breathe and observe. Observe the inside of you. Make room for yourself. Observe the movements from outside and the circumstances. Time for action will come, and so. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Blessed be your time ahead, and see you next. And again, don't forget to subscribe, share, and like if you like my content, so you are kept updated. You can also subscribe to my newsletters, Letters from Irini, on my website, www.palomablanca.ro. See you next, and thank you.